Hi, I'm Martin, and in this video we're going to take a look at some of the new 3D object import options in 4Designer. So if I go up to File, Import, we'll see we have two separate settings. We have Import for VRML and X3D, much like we had inside 3Designer, and we have a new setting, Import Geometry 3D. If I select this, I'll see that I have the option to import FBX, DAE, 3DS, Lightwave Object, OBJ, and DXF files. So let's start off by importing an OBJ file. I'm going to open this model of a car, and according to the model format that I'm using, it may or may not support different things like animation, lighting, materials, textures, etc. So it's just going to take a few seconds to open. We see the model appearing now, and it's just going to load all of the images that are attached to the object and all of the materials. As you can see, this is quite a complex mesh that's coming in. Many objects inside the scene, and it will just take a few seconds and it should finish importing all of the materials. So now I can treat this like any other object inside 4Designer. I have rotation controls and so on. I can add another light to the scene, so let's just drop another infinite light in there, set this to be 45, so now we have more lighting available as well. So we can create keyframes for this, animate it, do whatever we would do usually with such a model file. Now I'm just going to remove this object, and we're going to import a different model and take a look at another new feature inside. So let's go to Import Geometry 3D, and this time I'm going to import a model of a phone, and I'm going to use an FBX file. So this one has the option of importing animations as well. Of course, if there are no animations in the scene, then there will be no keyframes created. So I have my model now, and it's either too large or too small, because depending on the way that the model was set up inside the external application, the scaling might be off a little. So I just shrink it like so, and we have a new model of our iPhone in here. And I can rotate this and see that it's regular model. It's imported the baked textures as well, so I have all of the textures for the surfaces of the object. So now I'll go back to the node at the top, and I will select the mirror tool. What the mirror tool allows us to do is to create a copy of this object with internal connections that will mirror the behavior of the parent object. So you see here my main object, and underneath I have the mirror. So now whatever I do with the parent, the opposite will happen with the child object, including opposite rotations, etc. I can also go to the mirror and I can just offset it slightly like this. So if I want to create like a bit of a space between the mirror and another object, it's easy to do. Now if I make any change to the parent object, like I change the color, the material, etc., or I change the texture, this will be passed through to the child object underneath. But if I go to the child and I make separate changes, I can do this independently from the parent. So let's say I want to have the same green here. I can then change the transparency independently from the parent, so I can fade out the reflection slightly. So this makes it really easy to set up graphics for augmented reality or virtual studios, where you need to have a reflection of a real object inside the scene that mimics what the parent object is doing. It's a super easy to use tool that really does cut down and save time in the projects. Thank you very much.